So yesterday evening, all of the southern part of Ukraine was under a siren and an air raid system alert. So in Odessa, what we know is that out of the 25 drones that were launched and sent by Russia, 22 were shot down by the Ukrainian aerial defense system. It was Iranian drones, Shaheds, that Russia is regularly using in the last months. It was sent from Crimea and the Russian city near Krasnodarsk Krai. And we have, so as you were saying, 2 wounded people so far and no more information yet. It has been months that very regularly Russia is sending drones to attack infrastructures and the port in Odessa. And even here in Kyiv, which had been calmer for a few months since the spring, a few days before, we again had attacks with missiles and drones. So it's also a reminder that nowhere in Ukraine is actually safe.
And all of this happening, of course, as Ukraine continues its counteroffensive. Is that picking up pace at all? How is it going?
So it seems that Ukrainians have to kind of defend themselves or justify the reason why the second counteroffensive is taking a lot of time. Yesterday, Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, were reassuring in a way his Western partners by saying, despite everything, despite what people say, we are advancing. And we have some information from Ukrainian military generals who say that the Zaporizhia front line there, they were able to breach the first Russian defensive line. So the reason why it's taking a lot of time is because all the territory is mined, very heavily mined. And in an interview, a Ukrainian military general, Alexander Tsenavsky, was explaining that they have to demine at night very, very slowly before they can make an advance. And they're explaining that's why the counteroffensive is taking a lot of time. However, they also said that they are making gains in the Zaporizhia front line after liberating Robotyne on the 23rd of August. They say that now they're confident it's going to be faster because after breaching the first defensive line of Russians, they say the second and the third one were less prepared, so they expect that they will be faster. They also talked about the fact that in Bakhmut, in the Donetsk Oblast, they are able to advance very slowly, but they say the most important is to be steady in the advance, not to be fast. And all this comes after some criticism we have heard from especially some US experts who were saying that it's too slow or that maybe the strategies that are employed by the Ukrainians during this second counteroffensive may not be as efficient as they should be. But there's also one region that Ukrainians are communicating about way less. It's the northeast of the country, the Kharkiv Oblast, which was invaded and occupied by Russia for several months after the beginning of the invasion, and then liberated by Ukrainians in September 2022. For example, the town of Kupiansk was liberated. However, at the moment, it seems that Ukrainians are not doing that well on that front, and Russians have claimed a few days before that they now have taken several strategic heights near Kupiansk, while Ukrainians had to evacuate civilians from that area.